What's up, everybody? It's your boy Charles B, aka Jaguar with Jaguar Productions. Hope you enjoyed this cut. This is a track I made back in 2001 for a local artist. We were gonna do big things. Of course, you know, life happens. This is another episode of Beats and Speaks. I really appreciate you subscribe to me. I know I don't have a whole lot of subscribers, but to the ones who are subscribed, I really thank you. I appreciate you very, 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 very much. I'd like to go ahead and explain why I have been away for a long time. Of course, I've been, doing my whole dad thing, trying to make it happen that way, taking care of kids, and I had to find work and make sure that the bills are paid. And of course, this takes a lot of time. As you can see, I'm not doing the whole talking heads thing with the camera at my face just yet, but I will eventually. That just takes a little bit more time to edit up and make perfect and all that jazz. Thanks for tuning in. I intend to make more of these more frequently. Gonna be in this format though, where you're gonna hear like just the music in the background and me talking about different issues, of course, from tech to political issues, the ongoings with the weather. If you didn't know, I'm from Houston, Texas. I was directly experiencing Hurricane Harvey. We had a great deal of water surround us in our neighborhood. We stayed right by a bayou, and the freeway that crosses over that bayou was inundated. It turned into its own lake, a river. I mean, it had white tipped waves as if it was some kind of rapids or something. Cats were speedboating. A sight to see, I tell you that much. But we weren't affected greatly by like flooding, even though I do know some folks that did have that misfortune. But as you may have noticed, we're a very outreaching type of people. We make sure that if you're in need, that we come help you out. I do have a few photographs outlining documenting the event. If you want to check me out, I also do photography. That's what I do as a trade. I'm gifted with the curse of digital production, from music, as you can hear, to my photography, and I'll get more into that in other videos. I'd like to give a shout out to those victims that I know personally that were affected by the hurricane. And all across the world, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. Earthquakes, 100 fires, not even regular fires, 100 major fires across the whole western part of this country. Hurricanes just lining up left and right as if it was an airport, of like the Atlantic Ocean was an airport for hurricanes to come on into this to our nation and wreak havoc. Shout out to those who were affected by Hurricane Maria recently that just happened. I got some peeps in Florida. My heart goes out to you and yours. Hopefully you made it out all right. Shout out to those who are also affected indirectly as well. People had to miss work and maybe even lose their jobs and their form of living and all that jazz. All right, now back to what I originally wanted to post to. This is a tech video. It's not a review. It's bias. It's definitely not something you can use to learn if you want to buy a $1,000 phone or a $1,000 pair of headphones. It's just my own experience with a device I just recently purchased, the Galaxy Note 8. Very beautiful phone. Let me start by talking about let me rewind it a little bit. last year, the Samsung came up with the Note 7. Of course, it had its issues. I really wanted to go ahead and take some time to answer to those jokes that everybody's making about this product. Of course, you know, it was unfortunate. They were very embarrassed. I'm pretty sure that was humiliating for a high profile company like that to deal with such a thing. But you know, these things happen, and I'm tired of the jokes. Everybody wants to crack a joke at their expense. It's very easy to do. I'm not on board with that kind of thing. Things happen. Let's see how you rise up from falling down. And these guys did exactly that. The Galaxy Note 8 is by far the most beautiful phone I've ever put my hands on, laid my eyes on. And I'm very proud to have it. As you can see, it's a very sleek, industrial design, unibody, Gorilla Glass, the edge-to-edge display. They called it the Infinity display. And you can see how awesome this thing is. The Super OLED display. It's very customizable. That's why I'm an Android fanboy, if you really want to call me that. I like the versatility. I like the customization. And I can make it all black. Everything I put in my hands every day pretty much has to be black on black. My car, my phone, the theme of the phone, headphones, even my wife. You know, I like everything black on black when I have to deal with it every day. This phone is a beast. I got it primarily because of course, all the hype that was leading up to it for the whole year. I was looking into it like an obsessed maniac. This phone and the camera it's probably, I don't have to look at, I'm a photographer. I don't have to look at $600-700 phones just to, you know, go around and take pictures at random things now that I have this phone. With the live focus, blurring out the background, you really have to have this phone if you are a professional photographer or you're an occasional photographer, you're an enthusiast. Get this phone. You're going to be absolutely amazed at the ability that this dual camera system has. You also want to take a look at this pen. The S Pen, I don't have any footage of the pen being, using the pen, but just having the pen in your arsenal. If you're a productive person like me, I love to set appointments. I like to look at my calendar, and I like to create things with this S Pen. It's probably, I don't know, I can't see how they're going to be able to beat the design of this phone. When I was fingering over the Note 7 before the debacle, before they had to recall the phones, I really wanted the phone, and it turns out I couldn't get it in time. I didn't have the money to upgrade. I didn't have my upgrade plan for that just yet. Ended up having to get the Samsung S8. I'm sorry, the S7, which was a great phone. I love the phone, by the way. But the moment I saw this phone revealed, I was like, oh, I got to have this phone. I just basically look at it just the way I'm looking at it here on this footage here. Everybody wants to joke about the touchscreen. It's an awesome design, by the way. And of course, there's what you might want to call a flaw is the fingerprint scanner. Everybody wants to talk about where it is on the back of the phone. Look, if you only use the fingerprint scanner to unlock your phone, then don't get the phone. It's not really designed for that to be the most practical feature of the phone. I do use it. I don't hold the phone way at the bottom and then try to reach it at the top. I usually hold my phone from the middle, and then I have no problem reaching the fingerprint scanner on the back. It's not hard at all if you like the phone, if you really want it. They say themselves this phone is for people who are enthusiasts and people who take their digital work seriously. If you really want a phone that just kind of comes out of the box and you just kind of go from there, you don't really care about customizing it, you don't care about changing anything, get the iPhone. The iPhone is for people who like want to whip the phone out the box, turn the phone on, put the contacts in and go. They don't want to touch nothing. They don't want to update anything. I know people with iPhones that still have the iOS 7 and they just broke the iOS 11. I mean, people with iPhones, my wife doesn't even want to upgrade. If it was up to her, she'd still be using iOS 7 or iOS 6 or whatever they called it back then. And I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about the people who use this iPhone. They don't care for a whole lot of updates. And that actually takes me to the iPhone 10. I don't see a lot of typical iPhone users clamoring to get the iPhone 10. If anything, they might want to update to the iPhone 8 because it looks pretty much like the iPhone 6. You're not gonna have a lot of people switching over from that unless they have a super old iPhone. And even then, they're not going to wait the 2 months that they'll have to wait from the keynote till it's released in November. Pre-ordered in November. The typical iPhone user is not going to get the iPhone 10 until next year. Easy. Let's see what else. I also wanted to talk about well, what can I say? It's pretty much, like I said, it's not a tech video. I don't really get too deep into, what the specs are. Everybody knows the specs. I mean, if you're a tech head like me, you've watched at least a dozen videos outlining the specifications of the phone. This video was mainly designed to combat all the silliness that people were saying on the phone or were commenting about the phone. Ever since its reveal, people wants to joke about the iPhone 7. They're still joking about it. Even this week, people make reference to the unfortunate events of the iPhone 7. So, people, if you can just look at a fine product for what it is, you can't hate on this phone. I mean, hands down, it's the best phone ever created. It's probably going to be a classic phone in the years to come because all they're going to do is like come up with something a lot more to the left or whatever. That I even saw an article talking about that they're going to make a foldable phone. I mean, I don't see how that's going to be practical at any way at all. But if they do that, I don't see myself wanting it. I can see them selling this phone just the way it's designed, the hardware that is, for 3 years, if not more. I mean, I can't see how you can best this phone. Even when I bought the S7, I knew that it wasn't the best that they can do. And here, I don't know. I love when I have something in my possession and I can honestly admit that I have no idea how they're going to make a better product than this. Check it out, man. Look at those curves. Look at the shine. Completely encased in Gorilla Glass. It's showing you that mankind can come up with something so incredible. So a machine such as this, where it can do only what a computer could. Only what a computer could, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. My first phone, cellular phone, was a Nokia. I think the 3310, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, the battery life lasted like a whole week or something after a charge. Of course, it took about 8 hours to charge it, but I mean, those days are over. We're talking about a new age. It's 2017. You need to start looking at the products that are coming out now as a reflection of our ingenuity, our ability to design from the ground, using elements and materials from the ground to make something that's out of this world as far as our intelligence is concerned. I mean, and of course, I know there's a lot of things going on in the world. I just want to make a little video talking about this phone. I love it. a whole lot. I expect to have a lot more content coming through. Of course, I can't be buying phones back to back like some cats can, other YouTubers can. And I say other YouTubers as if I'm really one. I don't expect a whole lot of people to view the video, but if you do, hey, thank you so much. And if you like what you hear music-wise, and if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give me a like. I got a long way to go before that makes before I can start making any life choices, but every little bit helps. Again, my name is Charles B. You're watching Jaguar Productions. If you want to hear more or want me to make a particular type of beat, please send me a request. That'll make me feel a lot better about spending a little time out of the day to do this work for you guys. And that's my little girl in the back. I'm not even gonna edit that out. That's beautiful. You guys have a wonderful day. Please hit me up in the comments. Also have a Patreon. I'll put that in the description as well. Just check it out. Just do me a favor, look at it, and share the video if you have anybody else in your circle that can appreciate fine tech. You guys have an awesome week, and let's pray for those who had to deal with the natural disasters of today. Peace.